Craig Sullivan, it is so great to see you. Another Friday night. I can't believe it.
I know. This snap of the fingers, the week just blew by.
It sure did. It went so fast. It's got me confused. I have no idea.
That fast when you actually have to work for a living.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him one of those too. Hey, Craig, what time is it?
You know what time it is?
What?
It's time to thank your wife because now you're going to get healthier with Kachava.
That sounds absolutely delicious.
It's time for an audit.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Friday Night Audit, the only show in hospitality that loves to bring shame upon our guests. I'm Glenn Hausman. That's Craig Sullivan. Craig, it is so great to see you this week. I got to tell you, wow, we got a brand new opening credit.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
That was very fun. And we got to thank producer Danny for that one. She did a great job on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. We might be, we'll maybe revise it a little bit more, but I'll tell you what, it's fun putting in some of the pictures, some of the guests and stuff in there. It reminds me of when I lived in Park Slope and my boys were like 18 months old at the time. And they made the menu at our local diner because they had like residents on the cover of it. It was so exciting. My mom actually took home a copy of it. She stole the menu. She's still at large, running from the law from that movie.
Now, did she frame that? Is it hanging up in the hallway or in the living room?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's just in a box somewhere, never to be seen again. But I'm sure it was totally worth it for like the first 6 months. She had it right now. Yeah, so it's great to see you. And I'm excited because we got another great show for you tonight. And we got a great guest tonight, someone who's returning, not named CJ or Bruce. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, or Calvin,
right
into any of those categories. So
listen, don't talk about Calvin. Calvin no-showed our New Year's anniversary celebration party. So he's officially cut off from being qualified for the top guest.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he was over by producer.
Someone's in the penalty box. Penalty box. All right, Craig. I think we got to get right to it. As much as I love talking to you, I do declare
it's time to bring out Todd Stevens.
I think it's time to bring in our guest. So who is
Todd
our guest today?
Stevens from Cuningham is joining the mayhem today. Hey, Todd,
hey,
how
guys.
are you?
Hey, I want to thank you. Like I said, if I could get that every time I showed up at home, that'd be awesome.
We can make that happen.
Hold on. Let me see if I got the sound effect for you at home.
No, you have not met my wife. It's not like that at all.
Okay.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm joking, of course. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. And I want to be your like favorite guy to bring back on this. Although after this, you probably won't ever invite me back to the show again.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, it really depends on the quality. If you're too good, then you're definitely not coming back because we don't like anyone that shows us up over here.
Yeah, that's
so
never
be
happened.
middling to average, and you're definitely welcome. That's why we got Bruce and CJ coming back all the time. That's why Dave is on every single week, as a matter of fact. But all right, now I just totally lost my train of thought.
How about running that beautiful cocktail footage?
Oh, time for a drink. Time for a cocktail, our favorite part of the show up until the Palooza. What are you drinking tonight there, Todd Stevens?
I am drinking rum. So rum's like my go-to, my faithful. It's never hurt me, never left me aside, on the roadside, passed out. So it's so I'm trying to. I wanted to like do this whole like rum tasting thing with you guys, and I was going to get like these high-end rums, and it's a funny story that goes back to NYU. Mm-hmm. And I was in New York at I think it's the Rum House, right? Right down in near Times Square there.
Huh?
And I was hanging out with this, and I started chatting with this guy named Jake, and turns out Jake is like this rum aficionado,
Right.
and wants to develop this rum resort in the Philippines. We had this great conversation, but he like just educated me that night on rum.
That's cool.
And you know what? Look, I woke up the next day, I felt great, and so rum's just been that thing for me. So
I love that.
I got a couple different rums here tonight. So I got a Florida Cana, and I got whatever they had here at the Brightly on bottle. So
that's pretty cool. So you're coming at us from a club at the Pendry in LA, right?
Yeah. So the Pendry West Hollywood opened up like a year and a half ago, or maybe. And then so the Brightly is a member only program. As you guys know, a lot of these hotels are creating these membership programs, these private clubs, social clubs, work clubs, whatever. So Brightly is this social club associated with Pendry. And I became a member because, obviously we worked on the project here, and I wanted to kind of be involved and see how the space is being utilized. I kind of learned it a lot by watching people move and flow in operations, et cetera, et cetera. So so I'm here at the Pendry. They secluded me back into one of the private dining rooms because they figured I was gonna be loud and obnoxious.
Right.
So here I am.
Not with us.
That's actually, so you're in your normal spot when you're at the hotel.
You guys, off air, you viewers out there missed when the hotel tried to kick him out of the building by setting the fire alarm off. So
yes, that's right. That's right.
They were that intent on him not being part of this.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. They're trying to save you, Todd. Trying to save you. Well, anyway,
They're trying.
Happy Jason Voorhees Day. Relax with friends over at Crystal Lake. That's right. It's Friday the 13th.
That's
right.
That's right. Jason Voorhees. I love that you remembered that last name. That's impressive.
Well, yeah, I was a big horror movie fan back in the 80s, back when I was a teenager and stuff. When I started getting older and I realized that I'm probably going to be dead any day now, I started to get scared of watching those movies, and they make me a little sick.
Now he just spends all day making horrible content like this show.
That's right. I figured if those movies could make me suffer, then I could make the world suffer, and that has been my goal ever since Friday the 13th, the one where he went to outer space. At that point, I checked out.
What? That really happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It really happened.
We don't like to talk about it.
I think that was part 10 or something like that.
Dylan's got a great question. Who would Jason kill first?
Oh, Jason would definitely kill Dave first, because Dave he'd be like, hey, where'd the cat go? Go search for the cat, and be like, and get something right in his face right there.
It always comes down to who's the slowest and who's the most clumsy, right? It's
always
that one
I'm
person
dead first in that case.
Running through the woods, they trip over that little stick, and they sprain their ankle, and Jason jumps on them.
I never understood that. Dude is walking the entire time, and they're running for like hours, and he's just kind of strolling and stuff. Reminds me of that Geico commercial, which I think is absolutely freaking hysterical. Have you guys seen that one with the teenagers who were screaming? So they're like, that car's running. We shouldn't go there. Let's go into that barn. And then they're hiding behind all these rusty farm instruments. And the killer pulls up his mask and is like,
I do know what you're talking about, because guess what, Glenn? That commercial is from 2010. So I am aware.
He's aware of
that commercial 12 plus years old.
I did Google it to see. I was trying to get a quick snippet of it.
Right. I will tell you, all of the best comedy writing in show business is for insurance commercials.
Because it's
currently
such a
right now.
joke. Because insurance is such a joke. We just talked about at the top of the show, at the pre-show. Insurance is a complete joke. So if any of you guys work in insurance out there, guess what?
You deserve to watch this show.
You are a top-notch comedian.
Two of our guests and two of our friends that are also two of my sponsors, Jack and Scott from Gallagher. That's insurance.
Yeah.
Well,
go, Dave. There you go.
You can insult Glenn and I all day long.
I'm not
Way to
saying
go, Dave.
anything. I'm not saying anything bad about those specific people, but I am saying that they
I love how Lord Sullivan is effing with you right now, and you're getting all.
They should probably change their screenshots or their LinkedIn profiles to this. They're complete clowns.
You know what they say?
Oh my God.
Everybody, it's like lawyers. Like everybody makes fun of a lawyer until they need one.
Oh
and
yeah,
everybody makes fun of a
I still
redneck
make
until
fun
there's
of
a
them
zombie
even though I need
apocalypse.
right.
Yeah, you know.
I make fun of them even though I do need one. You know?
Now, I want to kind of piggyback off Dylan's question. Who would Jason kill first? Now, Daniel, I hope you're out there watching. If not, as soon as you end up punching in, we'll go back to this question. Who would win in a fight between Lord Sullivan and Lord Daniel?
Oh, that would be me.
Yeah,
yeah.
not even a question.
Really, Daniel? You hear the challenge? The challenge has been made, Lord Daniel.
Now, the thing is with Daniel's title, it's bullshit. Okay, I've actually got a proclamation that shows that I am a lord.
I love that you have it right there.
What Amazon site did you get that from? I want to check that
out. I didn't. I printed it myself.
Yeah, it's like hey, why do I have to pay you to name a star after me and give me a certificate? Why can't I just create a certificate and say that star is named after me and enter it into whatever database they made up?
Yeah. I called your wife, Glenn, to find out what your middle name was. Was I was going to have one made for you for Hanukkah? And she goes, "No, don't do that. His ego, we can't get it through the double doors if you do that."
That's true. Now I understand why she was out with the measuring tape the other day. That's
I feel like Craig, we should go ahead and find the worst possible star and name it after Glenn.
Is there such a thing as the worst possible
No.
star?
We need to find the worst nebula, the Houseman Nebula.
How much does it even cost to name a star?
I have no idea. I've seen the commercials, but I've never. You get a whole constellation for.
Oh, there you go, constellation for $79.
Can I buy the Big Dipper and rename it?
Yeah,
apparently.
What would you call it? The big dumber? Big doofus.
Big doofus.
Hey, Mike. Hey, guys. Mike is saying something really important. Craig, I thought you were the Baron of Balboa Island, which you are. So, what's the deal with the Lord thing? I'm a little confused.
That is also the title, and that's the lowest one on the rung. So,
of lords. So, a Baron is a lord.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like bourbon, where all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. All barons are lords, but not all lords are barons.
Or barons, yes.
Correct.
Right, this is. I had no idea the show was going to be educational tonight.
You got an education today.
I did. I sure did get an education, which is great. I wonder what Dave is looking up. He's got that. He's got like that dead eye.
He's getting a star name.
I'm still looking at the star registry. I'm trying to figure out what comes with each package, and then I'm wondering if I purchased a star, right?
Yeah.
But I live in an area with a lot of light pollution.
Right.
You're never going to see it.
You mean like everywhere?
Hey, Dave, is there a star being sucked in by a black hole right now? I think that might be a good.
Maybe you could get a discount because it won't be around for too long.
What happens?
Yeah, half price.
So there's only so many constellations in the atmosphere, I'm assuming. What if I buy one that I already purchased? Can only one person have it?
Well, who's going to find out?
No.
Fractional ownership, man.
But,
come on.
Hey, that's my star. Only the 23rd week of every year.
Yes. And I have blackout.
I want you to go to that star next year, but
I can't look at it during holidays. That's
maybe it'll be part of Disney Vacation Club soon.
That's really funny. Oh shoot! I meant to ask if Bruce wanted to report in. He's at the Magic Kingdom right now, and I forgot to text him. Yeah. In the meantime, Craig,
use the Bluetooth connection on your board, Dave. That way we can hear you talking to him.
Yeah, but that's not gonna.
My board's in my basement in its box. It's not coming out.
And Glenn, you were at my house in Hawaii, and you were sitting on the deck at night. You saw lots of stars there, so there isn't star pollution everywhere.
That's true. You're in West Hollywood, so you must be seeing a lot of stars, but on the streets and stuff like that. You know, just had the Golden Globes this week.
Tons of stars around here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really annoying. But Craig, here's something
It's
beautiful: this sunset that you had by your house.
No,
What the hell is that,
sunrise
dude?
this morning when I
That's
was
sunrise.
walking Kai. Yeah.
Why the hell are you up so early?
Yeah,
Because
of that.
Because we're old, dude.
yeah, no, it was a beautiful morning, and that is the Balboa Peninsula.
Yeah,
And it was just a magnificent morning. Good
that's
time
really
for a walk.
that's really beautiful. And what is this over here? That I can't believe this. Look, this is LA. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Downtown LA. This has not been photoshopped. That's blue skies and snow-capped mountains after our rainstorm.
Wow, you took that picture today?
Yeah.
No, I did not. Somebody else did.
Oh, okay.
There's another picture similar to that where somebody's actually on a surfboard, taking a photograph from the surfboard of the city and then the mountains and the snow. It's like, do I surf or do I ski today?
Why not both?
And you do both. I mean, traffic kind of cools that, but yeah, you can wake up at 5 a.m.
If you have the ability to surf and ski at the same time, you have a helicopter to fly you up there.
Yeah.
No, you can.
I thought that's called snowboarding.
You can do it.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hours.
From my house to Big Bear without traffic, it's probably somewhere between 70 and 90 minutes, which means 4 hours with traffic. And depending on what the road conditions are, and hey, I can just go down to the end of the street and grab the auto ferry, go over to the peninsula with a board, and go surfing. So yeah, it's easy.
Update from Bruce Ford.
No.
F off.
He said,
hell no.
He's got much better things to do than talk to Glenn. So
yeah, listen, I respect that.
So Glenn, can we talk about the I know I didn't know why Lord Sullivan was that. I really thought it was a play for Daniel. Monkey Day Dave is a very particular name, and I'm going to take a quick story about that because my mother-in-law,
you should.
She loves to buy the most asinine things for my kids. Last Christmas, he bought this truck that's like, it's an outdoor toy, but it came during Christmas. So my son has this remote controlled truck that he's driving to the walls. So here's the most recent toy that came through. It is a monkey that you essentially have to jerk off to then make it fart.
You're very good at that.
There's the fart. So my son now, my 4-year-old son, is doing this all day.
It's a pull a finger thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously pull the monkey's finger, get it to fart, blah blah blah. But I mean,
I like how you turned that into the whole jerking off comment. That was
Kai's got a bunny, and if you grab it by the stomach, it farts. Except for me right now, it's not doing it.
What is with these toys?
Hey, remember the last time we got into pet toys? Do you remember the picture I sent you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Why can't we just get back to like sharp-edged and dangerous toys like when I was a kid?
Like lawn darts. I mean, there were like lawn darts were the
They want
thing,
to ban
right?
lawn darts for killing people, but we have these crazy toys. Now, Glenn, explain Reverend G. What is that about?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of John Lewis over here, but my buddy Steve was going to get married, and he said there's nobody. Yeah, he did, but my buddy Steve was getting married, and him and his fiance Claudia said, "Hey, we're getting married. We don't want it to be religious, and for some reason they thought it'd be a good idea for me to officiate the ceremony. So they asked me to do that. So I went and I got my minister license, and I hosted a wedding last weekend.
Wow.
They look great.
With coat and tie and clean shaved. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
I don't even recognize this guy.
I know.
I'm positive that Steve and Claudia are laughing or smiling so hard, not because they're getting married, because they actually were the ones who got you to wear a tie.
I know. That's actually, it was the whole scheme. They didn't actually really get married. They just wanted to see me in a tie, so they pretended the entire time. I actually dropped off the paperwork over at the courthouse today, so they are all legit with the county.
And what are you holding?
I think it's a phone book.
It is not. It's a fish. It's called the Fish Book. It's a book that came out like 20 years ago on the band Fish, and the wedding was fish themed. You couldn't tell, but Steve had on a tie with the fish donuts. I had that. My shirt has the fish. My shirt has the fish donuts, but you can't see it because it's underneath the tie and in the in the wrists and stuff.
For those that don't know what the fish donuts are, I learned this. I'm happy I learned this. The Fish drummer, although the picture I'm pulling up is not him drumming, wears a dress with donuts on it to every show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's actually the guy or not. I don't even know. But
no, that's John Fishman. That's just a really, really old picture from like the 1990s. That's for sure.
And so, David, do you remember me asking you to go get several dozen donuts so that you could be eating them and having them all over you, and we would make it into a dress like the one Stephanie wore, and we would send it to Fish.
Yeah. So apparently, in the early days, he would wear dumb stuff and then got that as a joke. And then they made him wear it the next night and the next night. And then it kind of became a thing. He did do one tour ever where he wore a tuxedo every night. So there was that.
Do they sell merchandise of the donut dress?
What's that?
Do they sell merchandise?
Yes.
I think a donut
mostly
t-shirt
because
really
you can't they got that at like a thrift shop, the first one, so it's not something that they could copyright. So that's been kind of like the band symbol for the entire community that sells stuff around it to be able to do that. The shirt that I have here is from a company called Section 119 that they've done a deal with Fish, but they've got a deal with Grateful Dead, and they do all sorts of businessy clothes and other stuff with stuff on
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
I defended you guys. I defended you, Jackie.
Well, listen, it's great to have Glenn as a reverend, just being the official person who can marry you and being that kind of step above and having that paperwork. And he kind of reminds me of another famous reverend out there.
Reverend Jim.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
That is great.
Yeah, I like my pandemic hair. I never get tired of that stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The best thing about Glenn being the number one voice in hospitality, it's not too hard to find pictures of him online.
I'll tell you what. That hair thing is funny, and the good thing about Reverend Jim over there, I'm totally blanking on his name. He's looked
Lloyd.
Yes, he's looked the same for 40 years, basically. He's only now starting to look like Doc Brown's the character. It's pretty funny.
So at what point, Glenn, because you guys do kind of have a little resemblance here. At what point do you think you're going to start looking like Doc Brown's character?
I give it another 2 weeks. I got the gray going on pretty good.
I think you need more drugs and alcohol, dude. I'm just gonna go with that right there.
Listen, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best.
If you just look at Rolling Stones, you just look at all these guys that have been just doing drugs and alcohol their entire life. They've doing a pretty good job at preserving their bodily components, I guess. I don't know.
You can afford to have your blood changed out like a car gets an oil change. Anything's possible.
Well, I'm trying to prevent the aging. I sleep in formaldehyde every night to try to,
many drugs that they all cancel each other out.
That's funny you should say that, Dave. Back when I was in college, someone would say, "Hey, you shouldn't smoke so much weed. It kills brain cells." I'm like, "Fuck that! It's making me smarter, killing off all those bullshit ones that can't pull their own weight, and we're maximizing the brain cells over here." So
you're only using 10% of your brain anyway. So you got plenty to kill.
That's right. Yeah. Then me, I've only been using 2 or 3%, so I'm all set.
We've had a really rock solid start to the show. Only 24 minutes in. That's amazing,
dude. I warned people there's going to be therapy sessions after this show, and we haven't even got to that content yet. So
let's get to it right now.
Todd is as good of a transitioner as anybody I've ever seen. That was good.
Yeah,
thank you.
I love it. All right, so Todd, I went last weekend. I had such a great experience. I did the wedding, and then I was supposed to hop on a plane to go to Vegas to go see the Raiders game on Sunday. So not only did they wind up changing the game to Saturday afternoon, but I went over to the airport, and as I got to the airport, they moved my flight from 8:45 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that was absolutely.
Was that Southwest?
No, it was actually Delta.
It was Delta.
It was Delta, but it was absolutely
6 a.m. the next day.
Correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was really delightful. So I got to stay at an airport hotel over there, and then the 6 o'clock flight got delayed to 7 o'clock. Then it got moved to 8 o'clock, and then they fessed up that they didn't actually have a pilot, and they were working on that. So I wound up finally getting to Vegas. God knows, like at 2, 3 in the afternoon. And then, of course, we get there and there's no gate, and we got stuck on the tarmac for 45 minutes. And at that point, everyone's like, crazy. But the point is, then I got to Venetian Palazzo, and it was an amazing, amazing resort. I love that place. And though it's no longer owned by Las Vegas Sands, wait, hold on one second. Hey, Daniel, we'll get to you in just 1 second. Dave's going to.
Yes,
yep.
But wait, Daniel, I don't know if you call the top of the show. Give us your opinion. Who would win in the battle, Lord Daniel or Lord Craig? Craig said he wins. I want to hear your voice, Daniel.
Hands down.
All right. So back to what I was saying. So though it's owned by Vici Properties right now, Las Vegas Sands built that property, and they're starting to get into this pattern of building things. They built, I think they did an amazing job, Todd, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, turning an old steel plant into Sands Bethlehem, which has since been sold, and I think it's called Wind Creek or something like that.
Which is my casino of choice right now because it's only an hour away from me.
Yeah, but now, that's an hour from you, dude.
That's it. Simple.
Wow.
Literally, I get on 78 right outside my house. I drive an hour and I get off 78 to the casino.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. That is a cool place. Before I continue, I just got to talk about what a cool place that is, because they kept some of the original structure, like the big boilers and stuff like that, and built it in. And Todd, we'll get into a little bit of a design conversation, but that is such a cool thing when you could take something so cool and historic and really incorporate it into something new, right? Do you love doing that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's, I'm a big story person, right? And a lot of the great stories come from the site, the origins of the site. So anytime you can incorporate that and roll that into your project, it's a win for everybody.
Nice.
The reason I'm zooming in here is because
it's not a great picture for the cool elements of it.
So this part,
that bridge has got to have existed, though.
This bridge is a train track.
Yeah.
And this train track, so it used to be over here or over here. I'm not sure which side it was on, but was the big, and when it was Sands, it was still there. The huge, like, monstrous steel mill that that train track dumped into. I'm going to try to look up an old picture of the actual steel mill.
Yeah.
But that was one of the first things when I went there when it was still Sands. Was that the steel mill was basically still in the parking lot.
Yeah. Wow. So the reason why I bring all of this up is because New York State has now decided to do 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 downstate casino licenses. How cool is that thing, right? I love these old steel mills. They really look really cool. So it looks like they're trying to different entities are trying to get one over on in the Hudson Yards on the west side of Manhattan. I've heard something about. I don't think a Manhattan casino is ever gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
They're also looking at another Yonkers property potentially. MGM already has one over there. I believe there's something else in Queens or something like that might be viable. But the reason why I mentioned it is Las Vegas Sands is looking to do a $4.8 billion property in Nassau County at the home of the current Nassau Coliseum, which is the home of Billy Joel. And I got to see Pink Floyd there in like 1989. And I saw Genesis there in 1986 and all of that kind of good stuff. Well, they're looking to get rid of that and build this for $4.8 billion, a lifestyle center. with the casino, which is supposedly going to take up less than 10% of all of this space. But it's 80 acres over there, and these guys have got money to spend. So let me ask you, Todd, what do you think about this design element? And then if you have any opinion beyond that about downstate casinos in New York, because I know you're sitting in LA right now.
Yeah. Well, look, we do a lot of gaming work, right? MGM's a client of ours. Caesar's a client of ours. We work with a lot of different organizations, both commercial and tribal. You know, I look at this rendering and it's obviously very, very early conceptual.
It's very vague, right?
It's intended to be vague to kind of suck you into it,
right?
And one of the challenges I have as you know, from a designer background, is computer renderings and how it, you know, like back in the old hand-drawn illustration days, the hand drawings had this vagueness to it that sucked you into it.
Disney still does. Disney still does those, right? And they do them really well because they tell you zero about what's happening, but they all look pretty and makes you want to like see it come to light, right?
Absolutely. And Glenn, I didn't know if you know this. I mean, Craig and I had this conversation. So we were the architect of record for Galaxy's Edge for Disneyland, Disney World. So when you talk about Disney,
you mean Tatooine?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we did Pandora too, experience as a IPD delivery, which I'm not supposed to talk about, but I'll probably get in trouble after this. But anyway, whatever. But the point is exactly right. I mean, there's something about, you know, conveying that idea and that story in a way that allows people to kind of interpret and navigate that story in their own minds.
Right.
Psychologically, and psychologically, we, you know, Craig, we talked about this, like the neurons, the mirror neurons, and how psychology works and storytelling works and creating those connections. So when you look at something like that,
let me bring the picture back up. Yeah,
I think it's a vanilla wash to what should be there,
right?
And had they had like a really good design firm like Cuningham involved, there'd be a lot more story, be a lot more character, be a lot more impression into that project. And you know, we've worked with Sands in the past, and I'd love to get my teeth on this because I think we would just knock it out of the park.
Yeah, for me, what this image is saying is it's going to be something that's modern, and you know, they're trying to connote a sense of classiness to it, right? That's going to make people want to get excited. But you're right; it's very specifically vague. But the viability of the project, now you're going to get to there's a lot of people here.
Viability is there.
Yeah, the viability of the project, they got a lot of money, so they're going to push it through. But of course, the resistance is going to be strong. It's located right next to Hofstra University, and there's another university right there as well. Nassau County Community College, I think, has something going on. I don't think they want to have anything to do with it. But in the end of the day, they've got $4.8 billion that they're ready to commit. They've probably got a lot of money to, you know, smooth things along, and I have a feeling that this might actually go ahead. The Nassau Coliseum area, it needs major redevelopment. They redid the casino, they redid the arena, but the arena is a legacy arena that's been there. The Islanders won their Stanley Cups in 78, 79, 80 there. This building is old, and basically they put lipstick on a pig to hide the fact that it's an old, outdated structure. It needs to go, and they need to build a whole new thing. And part of this complex, besides shopping and entertainment, there's going to be a new theater and all of that kind of stuff. So all of those elements together gives it, I think, a lot of ammunition. Dave, what do you think about it? And if it opens, you think it'll be successful?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, and not because it's not going to be a well-developed project, not because it doesn't have the right people behind it. I think simply because part of the reason why the Islanders left, and yes, the Islanders left Nassau because of the building age and it was outdated and whatnot. But another part of the reason they left is it's hard to get anybody that doesn't live on Long Island or the east side of Queens, Brooklyn, to go to Long Island.
Dude, I live on Long Island. I don't want to be on Long Island. I totally get it.
No, but seriously, like, I'm going to pull up a Google map right now.
Don't they have a new
I'm going to take your screen share, Glenn.
District?
And, you know, this is where the Nassau
what was that? Yeah, what was that, Craig? I'm sorry.
Don't they have a new congressman in that district?
I think that might be George Santos's district. I'm not sure.
Exactly.
Anyway, Dave, continue.
So this is where the Nassau Coliseum is in relation to
What
the
an
general
ugly
tri-state area, right?
Right.
Coliseum.
So you're looking at this. Obviously, you have the clusterfuck that is Manhattan,
Yep.
Brooklyn, Queens for traffic.
Is that a technical term, Dave?
Yes. So nobody from the Hamptons or Riverhead's going to really come over here because this is too. This is what.
Well, there's also, everyone should know for context, in Suffolk County, there's a place called Jake's 58. It's exit 58 on the Long Island Expressway. It's literally 10 minutes from my house, and they announced last month that they're doubling in size and they're doing this massive expansion. I think they got another piece of property over there. So that's going to be open way before anything like this. So please continue.
I forgot about Jake's. Yeah. No, Jake's 58's right there. So, and again, you said it, Glenn, the casino component of this is minuscule overall compared to what they want to do. But I personally, living in Jersey, and I live right around here somewhere, this venue looks beautiful, or it should be beautiful. The chances of me ever traveling through Staten Island, through Brooklyn, out to Long Island for this is about zero. Especially
what about the auto ferry?
Especially because in Jersey, right? We just talked about it, I have Wind Creek an hour away, which is a great venue.
Yeah.
I have Atlantic City 90 minutes away.
There's no way anyone is coming from that side of the world. No way.
I have Resorts World Catskills 2 hours away. You have Resorts World Queens,
which is at JFK, Jason's JFK at the Aqueduct horse racetrack.
Now, the only difference between what I would imagine between Empire City, which is the Yonkers project you spoke about, and Resorts World Queens is the video component. There's only video gaming allowed at those casinos per New York State.
Right.
I don't know if this project would be allowed to have table games, poker games. That would definitely juice it up. They just opened Resorts World Hudson Valley, right? Which is also a video poker. But that's also drawing people away.
They're also not real slot machines. They're video lottery terminals. Yeah. And this is where, Todd, right? You know all about this. This is where you get into the semantics, right? Because instead of having the random number generator right there in the machine, it goes up to Albany to an office and then comes back because of bullshit. So that's dumb. And it's better than what Florida used to be. It's better what Florida used to be, where it was actually you were playing bingo, but then they just made it into a visual representation of a slot machine. But they still had the little bingo thing on there. They got rid of those rules. So what do you think? What do you think, Todd?
You're exactly right. The different classifications of what class 1, class 2, class 3, there's different classifications casinos can operate as. And I think Dave's touching on a point that has to be recognized in the gaming industry. And that is just like if you look at the generations that are coming into that marketplace, how many of them want to, gaming is not a destination in itself.
Right.
And so what we're seeing a lot of is a lot of ownerships looking at how do we diversify our entertainment component, and how can we bring something more to it? And Vegas has obviously been doing this for a long time.
Vegas has doubled down on the entertainment now. These residency things over the last few years. It really drives people and sports too.
The fact that nightclubs are making more money than a lot of the casino floor on a weekend is really telling everybody, look, you got to really pay attention to your F&B, your alcohol sales, your entertainment. You got to look at a more diverse market.
Right.
And I think what we're seeing a lot of, and in fact, I was in Tacoma area, I'll just say that, on a project that are looking to convert a casino to a resort property. And what does that mean? That means, bringing in other elements of entertainment, bringing in the family component to what has historically been an adult entertainment component for a long time. So you got to diversify your revenue base, but how do you do that? And you can't take if we build it, they will come mentality, because that works if you build something that is like really disruptive and something that people really want to go and partake. Yeah. But Dave's point, if I got this, and this, within an arm shoot away, I'm just going to go there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
if there's something is there something David can do that he can't do anywhere else? That's like, man, I got to go do that. Even if it's just at least once, right?
But
So,
here's the thing, Todd. There's another part. Sorry, Glenn, but there's another part to exactly what you're saying, right? As the entertainment venue component. I live in northern New Jersey. They may develop these things in this area that are unique or have these different ideas, but guess what? They just did that at American Dream, right?
Yeah.
They put the indoor amusement park, the indoor water park. So even if they go that way, there's nothing they can do that from Jersey's standpoint. I can't get 20 minutes away.
Right.
Here's the other part to me before, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Glenn, but obviously they're developing this with the idea of Long Island and New York City. Well, a large part of New York City doesn't have cars intentionally.
Right.
And there's
no way to get there. No way to get there.
No way at all.
We have here on Long Island, we have buses, but we don't. Nobody's doing that. Nobody does that. Yeah. No.
You know how I think this would have worked? The way that I think this may have worked. I get the timing of when he wasn't there, but the Islanders left the Coliseum and went to Brooklyn. It was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're building the brand new resort out at Belmont, right? If the timing had been right and they said we're going to build, either a brand new convention arena type of event, space, or redevelop again the Nassau Coliseum and get the Islanders to come back, I think that would have been a part of it to at least have the sports value behind it.
They should have done that. That whole the whole UBS arena thing at Belmont Park in Queens. It's the Nassau Queens border. Dumb. It should have just been the Nassau Coliseum redevelopment. But Todd, you brought up a great question. I want to get back to what I was saying. You have to have that reason for people to come. It's not like after the I think it was 1988 when the Indian Gaming Act was passed, right? And you saw the Mohegans open up a property in Florida, and then you saw like the Mashantucket Pequots open up Foxwoods, for example. That alone, that was reason for people to come, because that was the only game in town and it made a big deal. But but we are at the point now, I think, of full up mass gaming, right? It doesn't matter where you are, except Hawaii pretty much, or maybe Utah. You could find casinos nearly everywhere now. So everything becomes the same old.
There's another part to that too, Glenn. Now I know this component is run a lot by these various companies that own these casinos. Online gaming. Yeah. If I can sit right here with you guys, I can be playing right now. And if Sands if Sands doesn't get their app, right, their component out there, they're going to lose in that huge market of people that just say, I'm going to sit.
I don't know if we have that here in New York, but you have that in Jersey, the online gaming, and they gave those licenses to the existing casinos first.
Gaming, so I can play poker, I can play blackjack, I can play crack, I can play all that stuff for my computer or my phone.
I think that's.
Hey, if you've got a VPN, you can do it anywhere. So,
I don't really like that. I like if you're going to be addicted to it, you've got to at least pick your ass up and go to the casino.
And if I'm playing poker, I want to be able to like read somebody, right? I want to sit at a table and I want to know who I'm taking money from.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to see their reactions when I do take it from them. So, it's always fun that way.
There you go.
You don't get that online.
Hey, Glenn, bring up that rendering again, would you?
Yeah, coming right up. I got it. Boom.
Now, Reverend G, do you remember the Reverend Schuler?
Schuler?
Yeah. The Crystal Cathedral.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Remember him?
Yes, now I do.
Now, that building on the left looks like the old Crystal Cathedral. Cathedral for the Catholic Church in Orange County.
Well, you walk in there, you've got to give 10% of your income to the spirit of Sheldon Adelson.
There you go.
So Todd and I and Craig, to a degree, gave our opinions, but we didn't get you detailed the project, Glenn, but we didn't get the opinion of the person who actually lives on Long Island.
What's that to you, buddy?
All right, so here's how I feel about it. I love Las Vegas. I think they've really done an amazing job. I don't really like Atlantic City, but I think it's a lot of fun in the summer. I don't think locals casinos are very necessary for me personally. I think the
Right.
Jake's 58 property, it's all the worst. It's because it's video lottery terminals. They let 18-year-olds in there. It's nothing special. It feels like a grind kind of a joint and stuff like that. It's not exciting. While I do love the grandeur of a particular project that Las Vegas Sands on, they've proven themselves. I don't necessarily know if it's good for my community's health and well-being. That being said, I'm a board member of the Long Island Hospitality Association, and in that capacity, the thought of bringing tourism to Long Island potentially, or at least being able to increase the tax dollars and create all of these jobs is something that's appealing. So I think they're going to have to find a balance. And regardless of how I feel about it, I think the ship has sailed. And now that 3 licenses have been done, it's better that you get the license, I think, as close as you can, that maybe it'll do some benefit to us or not. I hear the licenses cost $500 million a piece. How crazy is that?
Well, Glenn,
So-
let me ask you something. If
Yeah.
one of these licenses comes out and it's across the street from your house, how you feel?
I don't want it. Hell no. Literally, that Jake's 58
It
casino,
destroys the neighborhood.
that Jake's
Community.
58 casino is 10-minute drive from my house. It's a former, it's like a what?
You drive?
Come on.
Breaking news: Glenn Hausman drives.
Yeah.
The Islanders
That's
drive.
right. You
The
lease a
Island
car.
drive.
That's right.
So it's like a former Marriott or something like that, a Marriott Convention Center
Yeah.
type of hotel that they converted, right? So it's just, I don't
Jake's
like it
58,
at all.
I've never been there, but Jake's 58 has a reputation in the area of being kind of the slummy type of
It is. It
there's-
is because they
there's
put zero effort. They put zero effort into it. There's nothing special.
Yep.
And it's one of those places that if you go to and you're like, you shouldn't be gambling. You shouldn't be gambling. This is making me sad. That's the problem with a lot of locals casinos. I don't feel that when I'm in Las Vegas because it's a lot of convention goers, people on expense accounts, and California kids that have a control of
So
things.
Todd, as a developer or designer, I should say, Glenn mentioned the casino component, which is what we talked about mostly, is only 10% or potentially 10%. There's certainly a lot of details that still need to come out. Glenn mentioned the theater as well. What kind of things would you be looking at in a $4.6 billion project that would make it stand out amongst everything else New York City has to offer?
Nothing's going to stand out. But Todd, what do you think?
You're right. Nothing's going to stand out. And I think if gaming is only 10%, then they're short selling themselves because from a tax basis, I mean, there's a huge opportunity here. We're talking about billions of tax revenue that's going to benefit the community, right? I mean, there's a reason.
I know all that
tribal
lottery money has totally transformed our educational system.
For the better.
Yeah.
Oh, did I roll
But,
my
I mean,
eyes out loud?
But I will say this. I mean, you look at what tribal communities are doing. I mean, through the pandemic, a lot of these casinos have done really, really well.
Yep.
Local destinations, entertainment have become like the go-to thing in the pandemic.
Yep.
How that changes after the pandemic, I don't know. But I think when you look at creating a destination entertainment component, you really have to know the market and you really have to know your customer.
Right.
And that's the challenge in gaming right now is like, what is the
don't know
future
this
gamer going to look like? And they can't figure that out because it's these millennials and Gen Zs who are very tech savvy. They're very integrated. But at the same time, what we're seeing is that the more people become integrated in technology, the more they're rebelling from that and looking from those personal interaction and like, look, the best place in a casino is where it's around the craps table. That's where all the energy's at. That's where all the excitement's at. People are throwing
but they want
dice and they're having fun.
$25. They want $25 minimums now, which means I've got to have way over $100 on that table, and I can't handle that kind of stress.
Yeah, exactly.
As a
That's where
millennial-
Vegas is killing themselves right now.
Yeah.
As a millennial, I'll tell you right now. I mean, I do not play slots. I don't touch them. I don't go to Empire City. I don't go to Resorts World Queens. I'll go to Resorts World Catskills,
Yeah.
That's a
Because they
different
have table-
experience.
because they have
Yeah.
table games.
Yeah.
I like to sit at a table, touch the cards, touch the chips.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's the entertainment
Have a
value.
drink delivered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yep. And yeah,
you gotta
absolutely.
play the
100%
tables.
agree.
I mean, that's the fun, whether it's poker or blackjack or baccarat, something else. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Glenn, you and I have been in gaming facilities in Los Angeles. And yeah, we see the dredges of the universe.
That is the effing worst. LA, downtown
That's not-
LA should do this. You know?
Well, let me ask you this: have you guys been to the casinos in Detroit?
No,
Right?
I haven't,
you look-
and I've been
if
wanting
you-
to.
If you know the story of Detroit, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
know the story.
Well, they've
you know,
got a
the-
Motor City, they've got an MGM Grand, and they have one more, right?
right, the trials and tribulations of Detroit, and I that's where I went to college, and so obviously having left and then the casinos came in, there was a lot of questions about the validity
Right.
of that. If it was going to be corruption and crime, blah blah blah. But actually, I think for Detroit, it's actually been a good thing. So,
And MGM Grand went in big. They went in
Yeah.
to make it like a Las Vegas style destination, from what I recall, and they had great
Yep.
restaurant partnerships and all sorts of stuff.
now you look at Chicago, right? Chicago's
Mhm.
looking at some gaming as well. So
I don't know. We got to ask
But
the
then-
PM shift on that, Glenn.
Yeah. What's
But
that?
then that tells
PM
you
shift.
like that goes back to the overall saturation of gaming in the country, right? Which is going to hurt Atlantic City, Las Vegas, and then eventually down through these other destinations.
Well, it's not. Doesn't seem to be hurting in Las Vegas.
Well,
What
Vegas
seems to
has
be-
a whole. Okay, I'm sorry, I did that. Vegas has a whole different.
Right.
Yeah.
appeal
Vegas
to
is a different animal,
Right.
but let me ask you guys, you're both on the East Coast. Atlantic City never seems to have really hit.
well, I
Big
could do
issue.
I
Is
could do
that
20 minutes. I could do 20 minutes on Atlantic City on what happened there. So gaming started in
Begin with a T and end with a P?
So gaming started in 1978, right? And it was a big hit. And because they were the only destination outside Las Vegas in the United States to have it,
Right.
they didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
They sat on their asses for decades and did nothing. And they knew competition was going to come around, and they did nothing. They didn't improve their conventions. They didn't make it a Las Vegas style city because they were so happy and fat they didn't care. Then Pennsylvania is like, oh yeah. And then his second day there,
I like it. Oh,
Philadelphia casinos, it was over for Atlantic City, and they've
And the thing
never
about-
recovered. Then Delaware and Maryland, and well, first it was Connecticut, and it just
Yonkers
mess.
Raceway was a huge one, right? The bus tours down to Atlantic City once Empire City opened up.
Yep.
Because a lot of the high profitable gaming is slots. And
right.
a lot of the older crowd is playing slots.
Dude.
When they didn't have to hit the bus to Atlantic City, they could take the bus to Yonkers.
Right. From
Done.
Philly.
Game over.
Philly is Atlantic City's main driver market because it's an hour. But why am I going to go for an hour if I could drive 15 minutes and go
there's
do it?
two
If I could
casinos
drive
in
20
Philly, right?
minutes.
You have Three Rivers now, which used to be Sugar House,
Mhm.
and you have a really great casino in Parks, 20 minutes away.
Parks is
Parks is
great. That's PARX if you guys are interested. It's also a racetrack casino. It's so weird that I'm not really a gambler, but I know
You know all
about-
this stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I find the casino business freaking fascinating. You know?
I
hey,
love the
speaking
Yeah,
of
Todd?
that, Glenn, I've always wanted to start like an underground poker tournament at these conventions we go to.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
a really
something
cool
I've been
idea.
something I've been talking to my buddies about. Is like, hey, look, we just gotta next time we're at the JW or a lodging conference or at Alice or something, we just gotta find like a little small room in the back kitchen area where we can set up a table, have a little discreet, a little friendly poker tournament
Right.
there. I know Anthony likes to play. I know there's a lot of people I've talked to
Yeah.
that want to get on it. And
Yeah,
I'd like to
I
get
don't
something
play.
set up.
But if
Perfect,
there's
you're perfect.
if there's
You're
ever
my
an
first
event,
invitee.
yeah, if there's ever an event in Vegas, I could get I bet I could work at a table at at one of the major resorts or something like that for like a
Definitely.
group thing.
Hey,
Definitely
well,
want to
you
get
probably
something
worked
together.
one out at Click in my suite. So
Well, let's talk about that because I think there's enough people that'd be interested in it. We could do it. Hey guys, we could do a fundraiser. We could,
Right.
$20, $40 buy-in, whatever.
Yeah.
Proceeds
I'm down.
go to
The
We should
fundraiser.
have
What are you
an
raising funds for the winner?
No, we'll give it to Glenn. You know, I
We
take
should have a No
percentage of the
Vacancy
gate, I
Live.
give it to
the charity
our trade
bit.
organizations for
Yeah.
scholarships.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to say one
Added
quick
it
thing
there.
about Vegas versus Atlantic City. And again, I know we make this joke. I'm too young to be around for the initial development and boom of Atlantic City.
Yeah.
To the point where Glenn is saying they never developed it. I think there's one part of Atlantic City that beats that, that would make it beat the hell out of Vegas if it was actually developed right. And that's the ocean. You could have the entire Vegas style component, maybe not as big as Vegas, right? Not as widespread as Vegas because it's a smaller area.
Yeah.
But there is the Atlantic Ocean is literally right there. The world's longest boardwalk is right there. There's a whole other component to that draw to the coast, that draw to the ocean that other coastal
Especially
towns
spring and
have,
summer.
that
Yeah.
Atlantic City could have or does have, but didn't capitalize on.
Poker tables on the beach.
Todd, let me ask you something. We had the whole Vegas hotel, mega hotel, casinos adding shopping centers.
Yeah,
Is that finally over?
I hope so.
Okay.
It's pretty funny because if you look at gaming globally, I remember doing work in Macau, right? And Macau and Cotai Strip was gonna be they talked about Cotai Strip wanting to be this Vegas of Macau.
Yeah, right.
But to go from one casino to the other, you had to get in a car.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
No, that's horrible.
And
horrible.
And that market gambles completely different the way that this market. So there's cultural.
So people understand. People come, they sit at a table, they stay there for 12 hours, they eat they get food rolled up to them.
Right.
I bet some of them wear diapers.
There'll be 3 people stacked on a table.
Yeah.
And they're playing, you'll have 2 people behind them playing that guy's hands and betting. It's a different culture, but you know what? There's a different culture between West Coast and East Coast.
Yeah.
And look, we're a design firm. We got offices domestically scattered around the place. There's cultural differences within our organization, within our clients that we work with.
Right.
Where certain things resonate well with some clients and not with others. And so we have to be respectful of that. I think when you start looking at gaming and entertainment, you have to have that same sensitivity to local culture, regional cultural elements to find out what really is going to resonate for that market and for that destination.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We could have a whole other show on this, I feel. We
could, but you know what, Glenn? We're down to our last 2 minutes.
This is really depressing, but something not depressing is that. That's right. So Palooza, Todd, we're gonna have to get you back on this. This was fun. I feel like honestly,
anytime.
I feel like we could. I really want to have more of this casino design conversation and stuff with you. It'd be so super interesting. But meanwhile, give us a shameless plug
for me.
Yeah, man, or for Cunningham.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, I mean, Cuningham. My big plug for Cunningham is we're a very unique firm. Probably the only firm in the world that has the depth of experience on destination entertainment, theme parks, Galaxy's Edge, all the stuff we've done with Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, Knott's Berry, all the fun, crazy kind of thematic fantasy stuff. But we also do resorts, we do gaming, we do hotels, we do multifamily, we do healthcare, we do behavioral health, we do creative workplace. I mean, if anybody's in Verona, Wisconsin is familiar with Epic Medical Systems, I encourage you to look that up. Our firm is involved in master planning and developing a lot of the stuff that's up there. And it's very story driven kind of planning and design. And for Cunningham, that's one of the things when I came on board, just coming up to 3 years now, was looking at what differentiates us in the market. And that's is our experience on entertainment and how can we leverage that into branded design, authentic design, and creating really kind of differentiated mixed-use developments for our clients and helping our clients differentiate themselves in the market at the same time. So story allows us to do that. Story adds value. Craig will tell you, I can go on for hours talking about the value of story and what that does to a project, to a
Yep.
design, to ideas, and even post into marketing development, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I won't go there, but that's just kind of, Cunningham in a nutshell. We're excited about what we do. Pendery, we play different roles. We're executive on this role, but at Ivy Station in Culver City, we were master planners and concept designers on that too. So we
and you play
flex.
well with others.
I play well with others. Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa, guys, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just got some breaking news.
Oh,
Oh,
Really?
We are breaking news. This is humongous news, guys.
oh my!
Someone just actually picked up the second gaming license that's going to be given out.
They won
I
it.
think we might be the first people to actually break this news.
Yeah.
Cunningham is actually going to help develop the brand new gaming convention at the Houseman Pool House Clubhouse Smokehouse.
I forgot.
Soon to be.
I totally forgot. I wrote that $500 million check for the license. Right.
Hey,
we are working
get
on
that
a
black AX card, Glenn. You know that you're good for it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the craps table in our house is when we throw all the bills on the kitchen table and go crap.
Hey, we do a lot of non-gaming too. We got a $4 billion project of non-gaming in Vegas too. So I mean, it's
what?
arena.
What is
arena mixed use? If you're not familiar with AllNet, Jackie Robinson's been working on this project in Vegas for a long time. It's a arena that we've partnered with HKS on the arena front, but it's about 8 million square feet of
that's
hotel
a couple of,
and
is that a little bit farther south than Mandalay or something?
No, it's north.
No? North?
Yeah, north. Yeah.
Where is it?
Just south of Fontainebleau. So it's a site.
Just south of Fontainebleau. Are you talking about where the Riviera might have been at one time?
Yeah. One time.
Really?
So it's a big, it's a large. We're looking at about 1,600 key hotel project there, and
Awesome.
Nice.
A lot of entertainment mixed use. Definitely destination entertainment. No gaming. But it's
but in that, and for those that don't know Vegas, it's like right next to the convention center, so you can do a non-gaming hotel right there. Yep. Particularly since you're gonna have Wynn on one side and Fontainebleau on the other side, and Resorts World is around there, and there's still a big piece of property. Wynn's gonna build something else over there as well.
And Todd, you can get Friday Night Audit to do a live show there. So.
Well, what I would like to do is I'm here at the Pendery. I'm at the Brightly. If you guys are in town, I would love to host you. We can definitely set you guys up here to broadcast from the rooftop. There's a nice view up there. Whatever I can do to help.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about that at Alice. Absolutely.
That'd be great. You going to Alice by any chance?
Yes.
All right, so let's meet over there. Let's meet for a drink or something like that over there. Dave, you got any shameless plugs, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna steal Craig's thunder here.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to producer Danny.
Happy birthday, Danny.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy birthday, Danny. I love you.
I'm sure she's watching right now and not doing her spin
I'm sure
classes.
she is.
Yeah. Do a spin
Happy
class.
birthday, Danny. That's it.
That's it? Wait a minute. Hope springs eternal. There is hope in the universe, Glenn.
Yeah.
And David, I want you to tell Annie this.
Okay.
My 6-year-old son and my grandson, my 6-year-old grandson and my 42-year-old son were both here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they both put the toilet seats down. Okay.
Whoa!
Please let Annie know that.
I will be sure to tell her after the show.
Yes, there's hope. There's hope for our generation.
I will make sure.
That's very exciting. Meanwhile, I know Dave's not a good plugger, but if in New York City, why not stay at the Even Hotel Midtown East?
Absolutely.
Find accommodations. Not such a great GM, but the hotel is absolutely awesome.
If you have any complaints, ask for Dave. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, no. Call the Reverend G.
I'm just going to give you Glenn's phone number. It's fine.
All right, Craig Sullivan, March 1st and 2nd. I'm going to be hanging out with you where?
At the West and South Coast Plaza Hotel. Todd is one of our sponsors. He's going to be there. David can't make it this year. He's
I
having a
know.
baby.
David, what's up with that? I mean,
So-
come on, man.
My
There's-
wife chose to get pregnant.
Yeah.
It's ruining my life.
She chose to get pregnant. Yeah,
Right.
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah,
when
she
you get out of
chose.
the show.
Dave's lack of ability to pull out had nothing to do with it.
You guys are swimmers, man.
I
You
was
got
gonna say,
swimmers in your
premature
genes. You know, what are you
something,
gonna
but I'm
say?
not going to.
And I'll be there in spirit, and I will be
Hey.
sending great vibes for the entire conference.
Yes, you will.
Hey, Dave, it
You
could be
never
worse. Your
will
little
miss
guys could be swimming. They could have cricket tails and swim in circles. So just be
There we go.
blessed. All right, enjoy.
So we've got Click 6 on March
It's
1st
cheaper,
and
though.
2nd at
Yep.
the West and South Coast Plaza. Glenn and I will be on stage together. Glenn, myself, and Bruce Ford will be on stage together for the first time. We have great panels. Hey, we're going to be doing a live broadcast of Friday Night Audit, and then the PM shift. Our buddies
Yeah.
over there at Hospitality MD are going to be doing a show after ours. So
Awesome.
really looking forward to it. And, Todd, you can talk to him about gaming, hospitality, anything you want to with
Great.
design and architecture.
Before
sir.
you talk to Todd about any of those things,
And he'll be back soon because we got to continue this conversation.
yes, we do. Before you talk to Todd about any of the things, make sure you qualify him with this one good, fair question. Do you like In-N-Out Burger?
You know what? I like
Oh.
the burgers. I hate the fries.
I can
Interesting.
accept that.
I can accept that too.
The fries are fucking cardboard. They're
Yeah.
horrible.
I
Yeah.
can
They're
accept
underwhelming.
that
I
answer.
agree with you on that. I agree with you
The
on that.
burgers are reputable. I'll give the
McDonald's still
burgers
has the best fries in the shit food business.
You're
That's
absolutely
the
right.
first time
Right.
anyone's ever given me a direct answer outside of yes or no, and I respect the hell out of that answer.
Yeah, I
Thank
do
you.
too.
Thank you. You know what? Red Robin's got a good burger. Sorry.
Yeah.
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
And bottomless fries. You can't go wrong with that too. So.
No, you can't, because what I'm looking for is more carbs in my life.
And salt.
Yeah.
It's all-
That's
Carbs and sodium.
Tommy's?
that was
Talk
that.
about
Todd, have you eaten at Tommy's? Have you had a chili burger there?
yeah, a long time ago. I think it was like one of those I was out drinking one night stories, and had a burger, but
That's the best
to
time
be
to
hon-
have a chili burger.
yeah,
Gotta go
Yep.
back. I love Tommy's.
Yep.
it's good.
Hey Daniel, next time I ran out of time today to be able to do that. All right.
But I got a question for Monkey Day Dave before we jump out of here.
Yeah, this is turning into our longest show ever.
No. When you took off for fish, that turned into our longest show because we kept going.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Cheers.
Okay,
we did.
good for you. I have no idea. That's
We had
amazing.
so much fun, and I don't mean that in a bad way, Glenn. Okay, we were just
No,
having fun. and
listen,
let it roll.
I'm offended. Okay, what can I tell you? How
Just hurry
dare
up,
you
'cause I
enjoy
gotta-
yourself without
hurry
my
up.
presence?
Craig, hurry up because I had to go pee really, really bad.
Okay.
Just come on.
Monkey Day Dave, why aren't there playgrounds at Taco Bell?
But it's obviously going to involve shit in some capacity.
I feel that way
Yeah.
too.
We're
There's
done.
a punchline in there somewhere.
Yeah, we're done. He got it.
Right.
All right.
Hey, if you like shit in some capacity, make sure you turn into our show here
Every
every single
Friday.
Friday night, 5 p.m. East Coast, 2 p.m. West Coast, 6 a.m. Singapore time. Watch on No
It's a
Vacancy
shit
Live
show.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, noon East Coast
Football
time. Download
control.
our podcast, watch our videos, help support me and us so I could put my kids through college. They're desperate
Don't
for an
forget 3
education.
Minute
Oh,
Thursday.
please. You're,
3 Minute
listen, guys,
Thursdays.
You're going to support Glenn so he can spend all his money at the new $4.6 billion entertainment complex.
$4.8 billion,
Glenn-
and I've got to do my part because I know they're
Hey.
suffering. So
There we go.
I'll plug Glenn because that's going to help pay my fees. So, hey, Glenn,
There you
go
go.
at it, man.
thanks,
There
bro.
we go.
You're
I
getting
appreciate
paid as
you
much as
guys.
I am.
That's Todd on Click Connect. Great episode.
Yeah, all right, everybody. Thanks so much. See you next week, right
Bye,
back
Glenn.
here for the one and only Friday Night Audit.
Hey, Todd, thank you.